but I know we need the written ruling to take action. But it has been confirmed that essentially the president violated the Constitution, and the Constitution is very explicit that the president can be impeached for breaching the Constitution, and it's something we have to pursue because it's not the first time; it's just the first occasion in which the court pronounced on it. But he has been in constant breach of the Ghana Constitution.
Thank you. We have also in the compound of the court here colleagues of Takuma Ogunsi, Desmond Trotman, and Sage. Desmond Trotman, current member of the executive of the Working People's Alliance, center manager, etc., etc., and certainly a long time colleague of Takuma Ogunsi. What are your thoughts on these charges?
Well, I believe that the charges are trumped up in the first instance, because I think if you hark back on when Mandela was charged for treason and juxtapose it against our present situation, all that Ogunsi has done is to say, look, he has done exactly what Mandela said. He said that this government, and here it is, Mandela referring to the South African apartheid government. He said that this government is brutal and it is heaping brutalities on the people of the country. And I stand in defense of the people. And so that if it is that they want to say that what I've done is treasonous, well, then so be it. I'm prepared to defend that position. And I think that Takuma, in speaking to the issues, hasn't done anything outside of what Mandela said. And so that I do believe that when it was that they put out the wanted bulletin, they were fully aware of where Ogunsay lived. And we must ask ourselves the question, why is it they did not go to his home to apprehend him? None of the neighbors have said that the police turned up. So to my explanation for that is that the intention was to kill Ogunsay and to fabricate something that said that he was attacking the police. That was the whole intention.
Well, not a far-fetched idea that the possibility is that they intended to do harm to Takuma Ogunsi, especially knowing that a lot of people say the man who runs this country, runs the government, runs the president is Jack Dio, a man who was quoted as saying previously, take no prisoners.
Take no prisoners. And so that we can't pretend that this situation doesn't exist. And we have to be aware of where we are at this particular point in time in the country. That's what we have to think. So Takuma did was to express an opinion. He recognized that we have a brutal government, and the government is not only Africans are suffering as a result of that, it's people across the spectrum. Africans are bearing the brunt of the oppression. And so that if it is that Ogunsi attempted to address the question in relation to how Africans must respond, he was correct in doing so.
Jack Dio had said recently, lock them up and you will see how quick they will retreat.
Jack Dio is prone to make asinine statements, and that is one. He's prone to make asinine statements, and that is one. WPA will demonstrate to him that the arrest of one person doesn't close the party.
Thank you. And of course, the WPA is calling for civil disobedience. We're saying to citizens we have to engage in, and we should be engaging in a campaign of civil disobedience, given the high-handedness and the full apartheid conduct of this administration. You want to add anything to that?
No, well, that's a statement that you said that originates from the WPA. WPA stands by that statement. Ogunsi might have been the person who spoke publicly to the statement in the first instance, but he was speaking on behalf of the WPA, and we will not retreat from that.
Very well. Recently, Justice Gino Prasad ruled on the breach of the Constitution by Irfan Ali. And like I continuously argue, the remedy according to the Constitution for that breach is impeachment. What do you say?
You see, we have to take into consideration that the president is immune from any wrongdoing at this particular job. So what we have to do, we have to mount an intense challenge to get the constitution changed so that the president and all of his officers must stand before the court when it is that they commit breaches of the constitution. Has to be our position. That has to be our position. We got to recognize that no man is immune from prosecution. And in other countries around the world, Latin America, for example, persons who hold high office, who hold high government office, are placed before the courts for actions against the interests of the state and the people. And so our president, whoever he is, or whoever she may be, must, fall into that category of persons, must not be immune from criminal charges.
Viewers, I'm chatting with Desmond Trotman, executive member of the Working People's Alliance, colleague of Takuma Ogunsi. Trotman is also commissioner at GCOM. And in his presentations, Takuma Ogunsi raised the issue of local government election. As a matter of fact, it is believed that is what.
All right, this is good morning to you guys. This is a live footage out there at the Vigilance Magistrates Court. Takuma Ogunsi, who is being charged. The charges haven't been officially read to him. I'm not sure that he has arrived at the Vigilance Police Station, but here is what the corrupt PPP regime may do. Is they may delay this whole appearance of Takuma, or they may just they oftentimes find something to do to frustrate individuals. Takuma Ogunsi should have been at the Magistrates Court at Vigilance, and those of you who are in the area, if you can just walk on by and see what's happening. This is bigger than Takuma Ogunsi. This is bigger than the WPA. And so it should not be just confined as though it's a WPA thing. It's a Guyanese thing. Guyanese have been speaking about these things for a while now. And we must remember that nothing is confined to one particular group or one particular individual. But we stand in solidarity with Takuma Ogunsi for his expression, freedom of speech. It is something that is happening throughout the country. What Takuma Ogunsi has expressed is exactly what others have said before, and it's exactly what's on the minds of so many folks. He has been charged. We are waiting to hear the official version of what is it that he has been charged with. And of course, we know it's a mockery. On the screen, they're speaking with Kadaki Amsterdam. Sorry. On the screen, speaking with Kadaki Amsterdam is Desmond Trotman. Desmond Trotman is a member of the WPA. And he's also a commissioner at the Guyana Elections Commission. Commissioner on the side, should be on the side of the opposition, because he was elected or selected by the opposition to represent the opposition's interest. To represent the opposition's interest, just like the PPP has their commissioners there to represent the PPP's interest. These guys are there to represent the opposition's interest. Somebody says, well, Janice Booker, good morning to you, is saying that, hey, Mark, he's at Vigilance, but the magistrate is doing camera. Okay. The magistrate is doing in-camera hearing. It means they probably have some, whatever it is, maybe a minor issue, an issue with a minor. All right, thank you so much for that, Miss Booker. The Booker seem to be very, very smart people, politically astute. They're always on the ball. Janice Booker, then there's Denise Booker, then, gosh, I can just imagine what the Bookers are like. You touch one Booker, you got to face all Bookers, with a B, that is. Good morning again to you guys. Let's go back to hear what else Desmond Trotman has to say. I know Kadaki is asking him a bunch of different other questions. Let's hear what else is happening on the ground.
And these things are being passed to GCOM by a 4-3 decision. Are you satisfied at all? Because I've heard this for the longest while that the current GCOM chairperson in Khaled Singh is impartial.
I look. I believe that what people have to do is to look at the decisions that will be made and to make the determination.
But you said
As a
at the commission, I'm asking, what's your opinion?
As a commissioner, I'm concerned that decisions are made to advance the interests of one side of the house. And if you call that if you call that actions of impartiality, that's what they are.
Thank you, sir. Okay, viewers, we are still waiting the commencement of the trial of Takuma Ogunsi on that charge of attempting to excite racial hostility or racial discord, coming out of the statements he made at the Boxon meeting. Statements which you have heard for yourselves several times, statements which you can judge and determine the merit of the charge. But Nigel Hughes said it's the one charge that he's aware of currently, and that matter will be called in the magistrates court, vigilance magistrates court, maybe in a matter of minutes, maybe in a matter of hours, and we'll see where it proceeds from there. What I can tell you is that the charge, the offense for which he is accused, is bailable, and our guests, based on experience dealing with the political behavior of the police, is that they're most likely going to object to bail. But then whenever it comes to the issue of bail, it is a magistrate who has to determine whether or not bail will be granted and the sum that bail will be granted. Right. I want to say to you,
That's Kadaki Amsterdam there, bringing this live via his platform, and we decided to go through and use that here on our platform. So this is compliments of CAMS TV. We appreciate that. Just to give you guys a rundown, as Kadaki Amsterdam was saying briefly, he is currently at the Vigilance Magistrates Court. They're awaiting the magistrate to commence the officially read the charges, and the charges basically nothing surprising. It is what we have said last night right here on 107.1 FM, well, through our page, that the charge will be basically incite racial hostility or something along the line. That's the one charge that we know of, and according to a source, and so we've been able to reveal that to you, that is what it is. This is what Amsterdam Kadaki just spoke of, that he and the lawyer, they're just aware. The lawyer, who happens to be Nigel, is saying that they're just aware of one charge. Again, we appreciate the fact that you guys are tuned in. Please share the link. We need to let others know what is happening and to expose what has been happening all along, particularly as we have been monitoring since the PPP has been installed into office. Massive corruption at every level, and as Ms. Arch is saying, state excesses and abuse is a crime committed against the people. And we've been seeing that with the Roxanne Myers, the Mingo, the Keith Lowenfield, the Trevor Ben. We've been seeing these sort of persecution all along. And in fact, we should have been even standing up and put a stop to that for a while now. We should have been doing that. What Takuma Ogunsi has said, again, is nothing new. Others have said it before, and others continue to think along the same line. But the fact that they have decided to target Takuma Ogunsi is certainly political at every level. And we're seeing right through it. It's not that they're concerned about, there's concern about racial disharmony or whatever, because there's so many folks who obviously are attached to the PPP who have said 10 times worse than what Ogunsi has said. And what Ogunsi said was basically this. It's nothing new. Others have said it. Ogunsi is saying the same thing others have been saying, but yet Ogunsi has been charged.
A white diplomat pulled me in a corner and he said, I don't understand how people complaining that they are oppressed and they have all the guns in their hands. They are the majority in the army, the majority in the police, and they're still saying they are oppressed. What he was saying, that our problem is of our own making. Our problem is our own making. Anytime we turn those guns in the right direction, it is over.
All right, so we obviously had some technical difficulties there. We'll go back to what Takuma Ogunsi said, which led to this trumped up charge. So far, we're hearing of one charge, and that's incitement or what is it, to incite racial hostility or whatever it is thus far. But what our source is saying is that they're still playing around with the idea of a sedition charge. They're playing around with that. We haven't heard that as being anything official as yet. So let's just keep that at the back pocket for now. Here's what Ogunsi said.
A white diplomat pulled me in a corner and he said, I don't understand how people complaining that they are oppressed and they have all the guns in their hands. They are the majority in the army, the majority in the police, and they're still saying they are oppressed. What he was saying, that our problem is of our own making. Our problem is our own making. Anytime we turn those guns in the right direction, it is over.
All right, you heard that for yourselves. Good morning again. We still need to find out what's happening, but here is what the hypocrisy. We'll go to Sanjeev Dattadin with his hypocrisy, just to give you guys an idea as to how these people think in the PPP, the corrupt PPP.
I see today that there's a wanted bulletin for Mr. Takuma Ogunsi for his comments, which on a few programs ago, we played for you, but I wouldn't repeat. They are derogatory racial comments that were made. And persons are saying, well, what are you doing and why would you do that? And then there's some curious comments that I see where people say that to bring those people before the court is to weaponize the judicial system and to bring matters and they try to insinuate that it is a government in some way trying to bully the people. I have this to say in relation to that, and we have to understand this. Every civilized country, and Guyana is a civilized country, must adhere to the rule of law. For too long, we have gone about our business where we always want to not, or we want to say we wouldn't stir up anything or we won't do anything because everything is quiet now. And we should somehow be grateful that it is quiet. So we shouldn't say anything. When persons break the law with impunity, when persons are damaging others' properties, when they are taking people's possessions, we should just somehow let that go. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades, that can never be right. That can never be the approach. Don't leave it and let it be because somehow you have to be grateful that we are peaceful in Guyana. The law must take its course. Everyone who breaches the criminal law commits an offense, and it is the obligation of the police to charge those people. If they are innocent, it will be proven. But who could legitimately stand with a clear conscience and say that what Mr. Ogunsi said is not racially hostile?
PNC has members who were charged for all kinds of things, and until now the case gathered be called. So the first thing that needs to be underscored is that it's clearly a case of instilling fear. It's clearly a case of trying to induce stress by having people report to the police, etc. It's also a manifestation of the politicization of the police force. Let's assume that you're charged Takuma Ogunsi for inciting racial hostilities. There's a video that everybody saw somebody in Iran saying he would kill all black people. What he didn't do. Where is Mr. Hicken and the police force? They are taking political instructions. And because they are taking political instructions, there's a selective use of the law. Now, in a democratic society, you cannot have this selective use of the law. And so, it should be clear to all that this is not about maintaining law and order. This is a political witch hunt aimed at intimidating Guyanese of all strata of life once they oppose the government. You see what is happening with Mike McCormack. What various states supported the government, not as a member, but they're going after him because he makes a statement that they're not competent. And so you're seeing a regime that is increasingly repressive. You're seeing a regime that is authoritarian. And therefore, what one should recognize by now is that the law no longer matters. What matters is Jack Leo and the PPP's perception of who should be harassed and who should not be harassed. And so they continue to harass, they continue to